Hello, YouTube. I think I'm live on my YouTube channel. I don't tend to go live on here very often, but I'm hoping to create a little bit more content in here for you guys just to work through your finding your inner sparkle. And I want to just explain and kick that off today with what is that? So this channel is called Find Your Inner Sparkle with Adele, but what does that actually mean? So many of you may know, because I know quite a few of my lovely yoga students are on here and follow to help improve their yoga practice and to practice a little bit more at home. But Find Your Inner Sparkle is more than just the physical yoga practice, and I'm going to explain. So to cut a long story short, going back years and years, as far as I can remember, I have always had a bubbling of, I'm going to label it as anxiety, but I have this label of kind of fear around what if something happens, what if something doesn't go the way I want it to, what if somebody doesn't like me, what if they think this about me, what if I let them down. And the mind monkeys have always been very, very strong with me. And when I was obviously younger, I was just struggling to work through that and to find my feet as a person. And it's only through the last, I don't know, 5-10 years that I've really kind of come into my own with understanding how I tick and what that feels like for me when it manifests in my body. So physically, how it feels when I feel the anxiety and the fear about something. And then to look to my mind to understand what is driving that physical response. It's a thought. What is that thought? Is that thought really true? Is it something that I've made up? Because 9 times out of 10, when we're struggling with fear and anxiety, it's completely made up. It's just something that it's a story that we're telling ourselves. So I have worked so hard over the last, for the whole of my life really, but for the last 5-10 years, really digging into what this is and how it manifests and how I can work with it. Not necessarily to completely eradicate it, because recent work has helped me to understand that fear and anxiety is not always a completely bad thing. And it's not good to take part of ourselves, like a chunk of ourselves, and try and get rid of it because we don't like it. Working on our shadow sides and lifting the lid on those little things that we don't like, quote unquote, is beautiful work. And we can use some of the tools that I have discovered that have helped me, such as journaling and meditation and coaching, to uncover those little layers and those hidden truths that we don't necessarily like about ourselves, and to bring them out into the light and to say, okay, this is me, this is who I am, this makes up all of me. I wonder why this is. I wonder, what's beneath the surface here. Let's have a look at it. Let's play with it. And let's share it even. Like, if you're brave enough, as I'm doing now on a public YouTube channel, to come out and say, do you know what? I have a lot of the time these funny little feelings and funny little thoughts, and they're just not true and they're just silly. But that's what happens in my mind. That's what happens. They pop up. I don't have any control over them. But what I do have control over is what I do with it once it's popped up. And these are the things that I've learned and how I have worked hard to find a toolkit that works on all of these different things. So it helps me to feel happier. It helps me to feel more peaceful, more joyous, less angry, less frustrated, certainly feel more loving towards myself, and certainly then feel more loving towards other people, because it has a knock-on ripple effect. So why find your inner sparkle? Well, years ago, when I really hadn't got my inner sparkle going on and I was feeling really, really anxious, probably quite depressed, really fearful, and just couldn't really cope with what I had on my plate, like normal life, going to work, looking after the kids, doing all the things. But what I have is high functioning anxiety, again, and I don't like labels, but to put another label on it. So I wouldn't stay off work, I would just keep motoring through. But inside, like to get into work, to actually go, was difficult. And oftentimes when I came home, I would be like crying at night and, saying I can't do it, I can't cope with it, I just don't know how to muddle through, and all the rest of it. And nobody would have known. Like if people are watching this back, they'll be like, what? Always had a smile on my face, an upbeat demeanor, a sunny disposition. And this is the thing with people with high functioning anxiety, you often would never know. And so this is something to be aware of when you're kind of being short-tempered with other people or being mean or anything like that. You just never, ever know what somebody's going through, because let's face it, we're all going through things, right? Life it's difficult. It's not plain sailing. We have trials and tribulations and challenges that knock us and that knock us down, and we fall. And it's about how we can get back up when those things knock us for six. But if you keep taking that hit and keep taking that little battering one after another, and you don't do anything to then build yourself back up and to take care of yourself and to go into a little bit of healing, you're not going to be that resilient. And that's where I was just, every little thing was just too much, because it was like I needed to run away. It was just too much. So what I did was I worked really hard on my yoga practice that I've been doing for many years. And when I did my teacher training 8 years ago, it gave me a really new depth into how yoga can help with mental health. So yoga is so much more than just physical postures. And I think it might have been Donna Farhi that said, if we're just doing yoga just to like work out, like what's the point? You could go and do any other physical workout modality. If yoga is not improving who you are as a human being, then what is the point really? So when we step onto our mat, we're using that as a self-inquiry tool to understand. Self-study is one of my tools. So I have a toolbox of 50 tools, and to understand ourselves, because we're all unique and different, is so important. And yes, you sometimes need a guide. You need a helping hand and a coach to work with you and talk to you and help to tease those little patterns out of you that you cannot see because you're in it. But nevertheless, if you can discover who you are, what makes you tick, what your kind of positive or more negative attributes are, and to embrace them all, it's a beautiful thing. And when I was in that darker place, the light literally went out of my eyes. They were so dull. There was no shine to them at all. It was just like somebody had switched out a light. And everybody could see that who really knew and loved me. So like I said, people that weren't that close, but were just kind of co-workers and colleagues and strangers would never have known. But people that knew me, it's like when somebody looks ill, they would say like, what is wrong? You don't look too good. So this is where Find Your Inner Sparkle was born, because once I started paving the way back to that vibrant health, and I started saying, hang on a minute, it's my life. I'm going to design my life how I want to live it. And something that I've recently added into my logo, so it's brand new, but I love it. It's given me the EBGBs and the chills, is a crown. So it's just a little white crown. And it's just to say that what I want to do with the work that I'm doing is to encourage everybody to be their best, truest, authentic self without fear at all of what anyone else is going to think about you, without any shackles, without a mask, just to take it all off, to be you, to put yourself out there, to be vulnerable, to share the dark as well as the light, and to really embrace every bit of you is a gift. And it will help you to find your inner sparkle and to help you to uncover things that you may not have even known about yourself, gifts and talents and things that you were born and you were put here on this earth to bring out, to birth into the world and to shine as the perfect human being that you are. So if you're watching this, I hope that this has resonated with you. And if it has, please drop a comment below. say hi, and definitely like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be sharing little bits more about Find Your Inner Sparkle, how you can do that, and little bits of the tips and tools that I have in my 50 strong toolbox to help you, to guide you back home. Obviously, yoga is one of them, and it's a big, huge part, and it tends to weave its way through all the tools. But there are lots of different tools that I've collected that I love to share with people, and just to do this work and to really help others to find a solution for them, because it's not always just to go to the doctors and get the antidepressant medication. That is a route, and it provides a wonderful crutch if you're in that dark place. I used it. So it's helpful for some people, and I would never, please don't stop any medication if you're on medication, but it's definitely a crutch. But what it doesn't do, it's not providing the healing. So it's like having the crutch for the broken leg, but the broken leg is not, there's no way of it getting better. So you're always going to have to stay on those. Hi, thank you for watching. You're always going to have to stay on them if you don't look to find a solution and a system that can help to reprogram your mind and reprogram your thoughts and your thinking, to help work with releasing tension in the body, to help to fully understand who you are. So this is another way. Whilst you may be taking those, that's up to you. But how are you going to then come off them? You know, I used them for a short time, but I wanted to find, okay, so I'm going to go to these because I'm in a real dark place. But whilst I'm on these, what else can I do that helps me to build myself back up so that I'm fully able to be resilient, confident, calm, capable human being? Because I have got everything I need within me to deal with life. Everyone has, you have, everyone has everything they need within them. You are an amazing human being. Just think about our design, our bodies, how it works, the organs, the tissues, the cells. Our mind is like the best computer ever, but sometimes it goes wrong, and sometimes we use it when we shouldn't be using it. It's a wonderful tool if it's used correctly when we need it to work something out and to figure out a problem. But if we let negative thoughts just replay on repeat over and over and again, that's not useful to anyone. That's just giving you stress, anxiety, and dis-ease in your body. So if this has been useful, then please do drop a comment. Please do say hi and like and subscribe to the channel. And if you feel drawn to, then share it with other people, and hopefully we can spread this good work around the globe. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to sharing more tips with you. Bye for now.